My son was a black man. And not just a black man, but now a black gay man. I knew what society would do to him.
I'm having trouble loving myself.
I love you, and I'm sorry.
A lot happened when I was 13. When I was 13, I actually was outed by a family member of mine.
Yeah.
We were sitting at a dinner table, and this person found explicit content on my computer. I was 13 and exploring, you know, the world, let's call it. And then this person took my computer, turned it around to my whole family, and that's how I was forced out.
And how did your mom react to that moment?
She seemed shocked. Everybody seemed shocked. But what happened was she then kind of brought me outside and I started berating me. Like, and when I say that, I mean asking a lot of questions that at 13 you're not prepared to answer. And I feel that if I was straight and the same thing happened, you know, people say things all the time, oh, give kids magazines and all this sort of stuff. And I feel like it was because I was gay, not because of the content, that this became such a big deal and such an eruption. It kind of was the first time I felt unprotected by my mom in this whole thing. And I feel like as adults, you have the ability to take these situations and reframe the shame is maybe how I would describe it. And it really, you know, that was the beginning of a series of events that left me feeling that same way.
Was your relationship with your mom good before that?
Yeah, me and my mom were like best of friends. My father died when I was 3, so it was really me and my mom that were left with each other. I feel like it completely reframed our relationship because a lot of what happened afterwards, you know, sometimes like the name calling and some of the other things that would happen really just left me feeling like parentless sometimes.
Got it. And what was it like living in the house afterwards, after this moment?
Yeah. It was difficult because I feel like my mom harbored a lot of resentment towards me. And so the way it enacted itself was me feeling very isolated and alone. And then I think it just, again, it kind of went on. I actually, when I went to college for the first week I was in college, I was actually sexually assaulted while I was there. So, you know, then my mom,
I'm so sorry.
You know, I would say it gets better, but you know, it's always something that sticks with you. But when that happened and I was thinking of who to call, I actually called my aunt and I didn't call my mom because I felt like she would again blame this, you know, these tropes of gay men as promiscuous and like that kind of mentality.
Do you feel like she resents you?
I think my mom mourns a version of our life that she wishes she would have.
So how did you cope with this isolation in that time?
You know, some people turn to all kinds of things. For me, it was really turning to school. I went to Brown, I went to Harvard, I worked on Wall Street. I did all these things. So thank you. But for me,
You single? Because I got a couple of homeboys I can hook you up with, okay?
That's all the stuff that happened. But for me, that comes with a lot of hurt because that was my reaction to feeling like I was so alone. It was trying to overcompensate in these other ways because when it was scholastic achievement, everything was great. My mom would be happy. You know, when I graduated, I was going to Brown. Big celebration party, but it's always about those things. And it always loops back to this idea of like my mom being this great mom and all these accomplishments, and then it just minimizes my experience, which was really a flawed childhood, you know, in a lot of ways.
Listen, you preach it to the choir. Why do you think I got a talk show?
Sorry.
I tell people all the time. People are like, what propelled you? I'm like, trauma.
Yeah, trauma.
Let me tell you, you have a daddy who only applauds you when you're successful. You're going to find out how to be successful because you're searching for that love. You know, we can joke about it now because we made it, but we've all done that. We respond to like the love we didn't get in a certain way. And I'm like, for me, it was the same thing. I was like, oh, so you don't want to acknowledge me being gay. You don't want to acknowledge these things I'm going through, but you do acknowledge when I get a good grade or when I achieve or when something goes well. So let me keep achieving to make me feel like I'm getting the love that I should have just gotten unconditionally. Absolutely. So I understand that. I get that.
Thank you for validating that.
Yeah, I get it. I understand it. You're welcome. So what do you need from your mom today?
I need my mom to stop focusing on making herself feel better about the mother she was and focus on validating and affirming my feelings and where I stand so I can heal. Because I feel like what happens is every time we engage in these conversations, it flips to, well, I was crying too, I was sad too, I was this too. And sometimes I talk to my mom about this concept of like emotional immaturity, which is a very new term that I've kind of started, but it's like my mom's inability to to just accept and stand in who she was limits her from validating who I am and where I am and what happened to me, you know?
Got it. Well, thank you for being clear about that. Let's hear what your mother has to say about this. So everyone, please welcome TJ to the show. Hi, TJ. You look absolutely beautiful. How are you
It's a
doing?
pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as
How are
well.
you? Doing okay, man?
Yeah, you doing okay.
Awesome.
So how do you feel about what was said?
Whew, where do I start?
Yes.
Okay, so when I had just came home from work and his brother and his family were at the house, we were in the process of getting ready to celebrate Dakota's 13th birthday. As soon as I walked in the house, the computer was turned around and it was gay porn. I was shocked. I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
And then too, in all honesty, I'm a baby boomer. That's not what we did. You know, if it was, then it was talked about behind closed doors. You know, that wasn't something that we just openly, you know, my parents didn't accept it. It was just shocking. And so I didn't really know what to do. I couldn't stop crying because what I knew was that my son was a black man. And not just a black man, but now a black gay man. I knew what society would do to him. Just eat him up and spit him up. I don't have a problem with sexuality. It's just that I didn't want it for him.
You are entitled to feel how you feel, and your feelings are valid for you, and I accept that. My difficulty is that we're having a conversation about, we're here to talk about these elements, right? And it always shifts back to me with my mom. I felt this way. What did I experience? I didn't know this. I didn't know that. And she said the world was going to chew you up and spit you out. And look at me today.
Okay.
It didn't. So can you just accept that maybe you have the wrong view and validate that?
And I will accept it. I own it. And I hear what you're saying. And I apologize. And I've been apologizing for years.
Do you think he's forgiven you?
No.
You flipped our parent-child relationship on its head when you said the things you said to me when I was that age.
What did your mother say to you?
Let's just say I raised you to be a man and not gay. I'll just say, you know, I'll put it like that.
Was she saying the F word?
It wasn't the F word, but variations. You know, this is, you know, these sort of things, they sting you.
I apologize.
I accept that, but you've said you apologize for that before too, but then still sit here and say, well, I can't imagine ever talking to my mom like this. Well, it's not a normal parent-child dynamic, not to mention that because you were a single mom, I had to take on a lot more as a child. And so our whole relationship is more of a partnership than a parentship, is what I would say.
Do you feel like it's more of a partnership?
Well, when his dad passed at 3, I told him, I said, we're partners. I said, and let me tell you why we're partners. I said, because what I need you to do is I need you to empower your brain. I didn't want him going down the same path his dad went down. So my whole thing was to throw everything I had behind him so that he could be intelligent, smart, exposing him to everything I could in the world.
Do you feel like you treated him differently?
I did. I own that. I did. Dakota, in my opinion, he robbed me of a daughter-in-law that I could torture, that I could literally torture.
That is.
I know, but that's just how I am, Dakota. I'm just being honest with you. And I told you that he robbed me of a daughter-in-law, of the typical family. You know, grandkids. And I know he said he's going to have grandkids, and God knows I can't wait.
You already make my family that's for the future for me feel like it's less than.
No, Dakota.
It does.
Dakota, it's not less than.
Because you're saying
Dakota,
it's
it's not less than.
That is hurtful.
No, it's not.
Because you're saying, Rob, and I know that it's minimizing. And I am whole. I will have a family that is whole. Nothing about me or the family that I have is anything less than some idea that you have in your mind about what it should be.
Dakota, I apologize. I can't apologize.
You keep
I
apologizing and you keep
apologize.
saying the same stuff. So it's what is the point of apologizing? What
Because
is the
Dakota,
point of
I just want us to move forward. That's all I want.
I think
I just want us to move forward.
it's really hard to move forward with the things that you say, it's really hard to move forward.
Do you understand how the words that you're saying, why they're triggering him and hurting him?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So from your perspective, why do you think you're saying that? Because I want to know.
That's what I've always said. You know, it's not that I'm trying to trigger him or hurt him, because I'm not. I'm not trying to do that. But it's just the way I was raised and what I know.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, when you don't know what you don't know. You know, I never even heard of emotional immaturity. I never even heard of some of these terms until recently. I'm like, what the heck is that? Hell, you know.
I think it's important that we come here, and the reason why we're here is because I don't feel like you're alone. I think there are other kids and families out there with the same exact issues. I think it's just not talked about a lot. It's a lot to come talk about this here.
No, I appreciate both of your bravery, because the truth of the matter is that it is. There's two different generations that we're looking at here who are speaking and saying that we love each other and we want to support each other, but there's a generation that didn't have the knowledge that many of us have.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
TJ, I want you to get this. I'm going to use the language you said back to you so you can understand that when you say things to him, it robs him of his emotions. It robs him of his dreams. Do you see that? Because, like, you saying, like...
I do now.
You do now. Because, like, I understand. And
Not just today. I'm talking about maybe
Period.
a couple of weeks ago.
Got it. You started to get it.
I started getting it.
Yeah, I got it. Because the thing is that, and I appreciate you expressing that point for me, and I understand how it triggered you. And I understand what you're saying you need to your mom. You need her to... I want you to tell her just clearly one more time what you need.
I need you to stop trying to reframe your motherhood in my adolescence and puberty times. Accept that it was flawed, and stop trying to make excuses for it and for yourself in this active journey towards us moving forward. Moments like what just happened put us back. Can you take us back?
So can you do that? Can you?
I can.
You can. So from now on, the past, no more like, I'm going to justify, I'm going to explain. I'm just going to acknowledge it was not right.
I can definitely do that.
Okay.
Because I'm here to move forward, not to go back.
Yeah.
Same.
I got to tell you something, though.
Same.
Yeah. Hold on. I got to tell you something, though. Amidst the hurt, which is very valid, I have to acknowledge you actually have a mother who's actually trying to grow.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
one of the things that I think when it comes to this generations, different generations, is that we want them to grow at our pace. And we don't realize that she has to grow at her pace.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the things that as she's making this commitment, I would ask you to make a commitment to give her a little more grace in her growth.
I received that. I'll do that. I received that.
Listen, I hope you feel heard.
I do.
Do you feel as if this was the first step in y'all getting somewhere?
I absolutely do. And I thank you for it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you feel good?
Absolutely.
Good,
Thank
good,
you so
good.
much.
I wish y'all the best of luck. There's a lot of love here. Yeah, you're welcome.
I know I made mistakes in the past, but I love my kids. When they were young, we was happy. But when I got incarcerated, everything had changed. I blame myself because I should have been there. But I also blame Bree. My kids don't call me, check on me. I didn't even know Michaela was even pregnant. I just feel hurt, and I just want everything to come back together, period. I'm 51 years old, and I want my family back.
Well, before I talk to Leighton, I'm going to talk to his daughter, Ariana. Please, everyone, welcome Ariana to the show. Oh, stunning! Oh, she's stunning! How are you? Nice to meet you. Hold on. I didn't know we had a supermodel coming out today. You look gorgeous. You really do. Okay, so I just saw that video for the first time of your father. How do you feel about what you just saw?
Oh, if we gonna come on here, let's come correct. We're all grown, so to blame other people for like stuff that you did as a man, as a father, is just like.
So what did he do that's causing him to feel like he's lost his family? Or in your opinion, what did he do to lose his family?
Well, for one, I mean, he's never really been in my life. The only memories that I have of my father is like traumatic experiences.
Got it.
And so I'm transgender, and I don't really know how he feels about it, but it's like, it's wishy-washy. It's like, I want my family back, but at the same time, you need to acknowledge me as your daughter. I'm not your son.
Yes. So does he still interact with you as if you were his son? He doesn't respect your transition?
Well, to my mom, he still refers to me as his son.
How does that make you feel knowing that your father is still not in a space to respect you?
It hurts my feelings because it's like, I fought so hard to be here and I've been through a lot. I feel hurt that, you know, I can't have my mother and my father.
When was the last time you saw Leighton?
I saw him at my sister's graduation.
Okay, and what
Not,
was
not
that
my
like?
graduation, my sister's graduation. Guess he want his son back, but he's dead and gone, so.
Yes, yes. So what was it like when you saw Leighton at your sister's graduation?
It was, I felt like he was just another person off the street. So why
So
would
did you ever have that bond, like at all?
No.
So why do you think in his mind does it feel he thinks that you all had that relationship? Because I'm watching the video the same way you did, and it sounds like, hey, I'm a dad, I want to be there, and like all these things, but I'm hearing something different from you.
I mean, maybe when I was younger and he had his son, like, but I can't recall a time where it was like, yeah, my dad. Like, I just remember the bad memories.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, yeah. What were those bad memories?
Well, I could recall him coming home, being drunk, and taking it out on me, like physically and emotionally and stuff. So.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Very sorry. I'm sorry. And so at the graduation, when you saw your father, did you two speak? What happened?
Well, he came up to me and his first words were, you can't speak to nobody. And it's like, that's how you approach people? Like, if you're so, I want my family back and my child, hi, how are you? How you been? What's up with you? What's going on in life?
Does your sister Michaela have the same relationship with your father?
I think he wants to be in her life. Like, I think that's like his little girl. So I think for her, it's just like, dude, we don't
Does she want to be in his life?
I can't speak for her. I don't know.
Got it. Okay. Everyone, please welcome Leighton to my show. How you doing, Leighton? All right. Please take a seat for me.
What's going on?
All right, Leighton, so you want your family back. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is, talk to them and everything. I don't talk to them.
So what's your response to what you heard Ariana say?
It hurts.
Why does it hurt?
Because they're my kid. That's my blood. I watched them grow up. I wasn't there all the time. No, I wasn't. I blame myself for that.
So tell me, how did you feel when you saw Ariana at Michaela's graduation?
It hurt because it's like, looked at me like I wasn't daddy. Like, didn't talk to me, nothing like that.
But what did you expect me to say? Like, the way your approach is everything. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. We haven't seen each other in how long? We don't talk to each other, we don't call each other. So what were you expecting?
But but that's not I'm not blamed for all that, though.
So
Us not talking to each other. I try to call.
The phone go both ways.
I try to call. Every time I try to call, I don't get no answer, nothing like that. So that made me to just stop calling.
Leighton, I got a question for you. Ariana said that when you saw her prom picture, you deleted it off of Facebook. Can you tell me about that and why?
Deleted it?
Yeah.
I ain't delete no pictures.
You didn't delete the photo. So
And
I
I
want to
did.
ask you point blank, do you accept Ariana as your daughter?
Yeah, I do. She could be a dinosaur, whatever. That's my child. That's mine.
The fact that you said, Ariana, I do accept you as my daughter, and she said she doesn't know if she can believe you, which that's her experience. But she also just said that your ex-wife has also shared with her that you still refer to her as a boy. How do you respond to that?
That's not true. If that's the case, I would call him Isaiah. I call Ariana. That's what I call.
Ariana.
You taking everything as a joke right now. That's
Who's
what's
joke? That's
what's
my
making
name.
me mad.
That's my legal name.
That's
Who's
what's
taking
making
it
me
as a
mad
joke?
right now. You got everybody laughing. That's what's pissing me off.
Because
right
I'm
now.
funny?
What the hell, man?
Leighton, what do you want to say to her?
Right now, I don't even know what I want to say.
But what are you frustrated about? I'm confused. I didn't sit here and call you a liar. I didn't say nothing derogatory to you. I'm respecting you. Like, I'm confused.
What is frustrating you? Because I'm giving you, I don't know if you noticed, I want to make sure you're having an opportunity to share your point.
It's just, I mean, like I said, I just don't feel like I'm getting respected as a father.
I just remember you coming home drunk, and I don't know what will be going on with you, but you will take it out on me.
Ariana's little sister, Michaela, is also here, and she sees things very different than her father. Michaela, please come on out.
Hi.
Get a hug. Nice to meet you.
Too.
Yes. All right. So, I see you just walked past your father. So I'm assuming that you don't have a good relationship.
There's not really much of a relationship there. I mean, I don't really feel like I have a father. Yeah,
Why?
he was never around.
So did you want a relationship with your father?
I would be open to it, but there's boundaries and things that I want from you. I want you to respect my sister as Ariana. I want you to respect my mother. And you don't do that.
How I don't do that, though?
So you don't be calling her Isaiah still?
He claims that he never did that, and he never deleted the prom picture. He never called me Isaiah. He doesn't recall that, so.
I mean, at the beginning, I probably, I mean, I called you Isaiah because I wasn't used to calling you Ariana.
Ariana?
I can't do this, man. On my life, I can't do this. I'm done.
Well, you haven't been doing it for how many long? So continue.
Oh, well.
Keep it up.
Well,
now
well,
it's oh well.
oh, well, go on
Now it's
doing
oh
it like
well.
that.
Look at me, I'm doing fine.
Because the way you
I'm
talking
good.
to me.
I'm good. I've been
way
going
you
through my
talking
whole
to me.
life. I've been good. Do you see me?
I'm gonna ask you, Michaela. You were just pregnant. You had a child, right?
Yes.
Did you tell your father about your child?
No.
Why?
What would I be telling you for? I just don't feel like that was something that you needed to know. I mean, if you were present, if you were around, yeah, you would have known about it, but who needed to know, knew.
How do you feel that you have never met your grandchild?
I mean, it hurts. I mean, it just hurts.
Leighton, when did you find out that Michaela had a child?
My brother told me.
Is this your first grandchild?
Yep.
But can I ask why you felt like you needed to know?
Because you're my daughter.
But if I'm your daughter, then why aren't you around?
I'm in a different state, and I try to be around. I try to call.
I'll give you that. You call and we don't answer. I don't answer. I mean, because the times I have picked up the phone, you blame everyone else but yourself.
How I blame anybody else?
You blame my mom, you blame me, you blame Ariana.
All right, joining us now is Bree. She met Leighton when she was a teenager and they got married. She's telling her side of the story with hopes that Leighton will finally listen to her and their daughters. Welcome, everyone. Bree to the show. How are you doing today?
Hi, thanks. How are you?
Thank you so much for the show. Yeah. Please take a seat. So I'm hearing a lot of confusion on Leighton's part. What was your experience?
Leighton just was not there. Whether he was physically in our home, he was not mentally, emotionally available for me, for them. But he puts a lot of the blame on me. And I'm not the one to blame. Like, I was there. I stepped up to the plate to fill your shoes and my shoes.
How was y'all's marriage when y'all were together?
Non-existent. It's a piece of paper.
So why are y'all still legally married?
Why?
Why?
Leighton has made it perfectly clear on several occasions that I will always be his wife. I'll never divorce you. And I've tried, just not for lack of effort. I have tried. Like,
All right, so, Leighton, so I want to hear your perspective because I'm hearing a constant from three people. And I'm not trying to say that you're lying, but there's an inconsistency with what you're experiencing and what three different people are experiencing. They're all saying they experienced the same thing. You were not there. You were emotionally unavailable. You were physically unavailable. You just were not there, so they don't know you. They don't have a relationship with you.
Listen here, I got it perfectly clear now. I know for sure now. Trust me.
So what do you want to do to rectify that? Because you said you want your family back. Can you look at your family and say, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry and I apologize.
If we're going to do anything today on this stage, please be for real.
He just said, I'm sorry and I apologize. What do you want? Tell him.
Me personally, I want you to understand how you made me feel.
If you are going to be in our lives and try to make a relationship You need to prove your acceptance of Ariana and not be calling her Isaiah and referring to her as your son. And just stop blaming everybody else.
And Bree, what do you need?
To piggyback off of Michaela, I just need you to accept that, or just respect the fact that you have two beautiful daughters. Like, you know, for me as a mother, like, I adore her. I have the utmost respect for her, and I just wish everybody would. And I get that it's not for everybody, but that's your child. That's your daughter.
And I know that. And I accept it. And I accept it.
She's living her truth, and I respect it.
I respect it also.
But you don't show me you respect it.
Leighton, I do believe, honestly, from today, and I will say this, I didn't know anything about you beforehand. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know how you were going to react out here. I truly do believe in my heart of hearts and in my professional opinion that you want to do better and want to be here for your children.
I do.
I truly do believe that. But I believe that it's also very hard for you to hear all of these things and the pain you cause.
Yes, it is. It is.
And it can feel like this is a never-ending cycle where you're always the bad guy. But the truth of the matter is that you won't always be the bad guy if you do one thing, and that's just own anything they say. The thing of the matter is you've already started doing that right now. You've already said, I accept you as my daughter. I'm sorry that I wasn't here for you. I'm sorry that I did this. But what they're telling you is that it's not enough. So what you have to do right now is you have to tell your family that I'm willing to go on the journey of taking however long you all need to heal.
I could be here. I could wait for y'all to give me time. I mean, just forgive me. I apologize. It hurts me and everything, and I know it hurts y'all, and I'm sorry.
I think that's a big step. He clearly is letting y'all know he's not perfect. So if he's saying I'm sorry, you got to give him a chance to believe him. If he says I accept you, you got to give him a chance to believe you. And if he does something different, call him out. And that's the way y'all going to heal. I actually want to see y'all do that. I truly do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you got a beautiful family. So I believe y'all can heal. I believe y'all can be a family together. You've taken a very big step today, and I honor you for that. Now's the time for y'all to do the work as a family.
Why do you want to unlock Ari's phone?
It's not why. It's cause it's always on Do Not Disturb. You know what I'm saying? I've been on it for like 5 years. So within the 5 years, you know what I'm saying, the phone haven't been on Do Not Disturb. And if y'all know why the phone do not go on Do Not Disturb, it's because you're hiding something. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you at work. If you at work, your phone could go on Do Not Disturb. But when you with me, why is your phone on Do Not Disturb?
Makes sense. Maybe to play devil advocate, is there a way that maybe she just wants to show you that she wants to be with you, that she wants to share time with you?
No, absolutely not.
No.
It's not about that.
Right.
Absolutely not.
I'm just playing devil's advocate, trying to get both sides. You know, so you feel like there's something suspicious.
It's something suspicious, or you're hiding something.
Got it. Has she cheated on you before in the past?
Absolutely. Multiple times.
Okay. So when did you first start noticing her cheating on you?
It's not when I first. It's actually, I caught it, and actually she told me. But let me put y'all on. She's not gay. She's not with the LGBT community. She's a straight woman. And she grew up in a Christian home.
Does she identify as a straight woman?
Yes, she does.
So she says, even though she's been in a 5-year relationship with you,
yes,
she still says, I am straight.
Yes, because I'm the only female she's been with.
Okay, but why not identify as bi? Why not identify as...
I say that, but then I also say, because, you know, the LGBT community, you can't say that you're bi if you, I'm the only female. She don't go, when she cheats, she don't go a female. She goes to a man, so I say, don't call yourself bi, you're straight. You know what I'm saying? Because when you cheat, you don't go to a female. If I would cheat, I'm going to a female. I like females, I don't like men. I will go to a female. She goes straight to men, not a female.
So you're telling her to call herself straight? That's what you just said. You just said, I'm telling her to call herself straight.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when did you start noticing red flags in your relationship?
We've been together for 5 years. She asked me out 2 days after I met her. 2 days after that, she comes to my face and tells me, I'm about to go with my ex, and walks straight out the house.
What do you think happened between her and a TikTok follower?
What I think is, I know what happened.
Okay, what happened?
So,
Tell me.
I'm gonna tell you this story. So how I found out was we had a hotel party with a group of friends, you know. We get drunk. And you know, we get drunk, everybody fall out. You know, I don't really care. It's my time to lurk. You know what I'm saying? It's my time to lurk. She been acting funny and drunk. She was acting too sweet that night. And the thing is, we played a game, truth or dare game. One of the questions was, Ari, unlock your phone and let's see your text messages. She ain't unlock it. She took 3 shots to the face and she ain't want to unlock it. So yeah, she went to sleep. I unlocked that phone, but first before I unlocked it, on my phone, her phone was like it was on Do Not Search. So I went to my phone and I went through Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and I just went through all her followers and stuff. So then I go to her phone. I take Do Not Disturb off. And y'all know, once y'all take Do Not Disturb off, all the messages pop up. I see somebody named Poppy Chulo.
Not Poppy Chulo.
My name not Poppy
Okay,
Chulo.
not Poppy Chulo.
My name is not Poppy Chulo.
Okay, yeah.
My name is Nas. My name not Poppy Chulo, so I was confused, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hey Siri, the phone locked, but you can ask Siri to FaceTime. The same person that popped up from her TikTok followers is the same man that is on this phone right now as we speak. And he's just telling it all. Like, he's telling it all. I'm like, yo, if this your girl, you gotta come get her. You gotta come get her, bro. Like, you really gotta come get her. So then...
You reacted that calmly when you was on the phone with Poppy Chulo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So then she wakes up an hour later, and I already took a picture of him, you know what I'm saying? So I asked her, and I showed him, like, yo, you know him? No. You did anything with him? No. Why you going through my phone? How you know he in your phone, though, if you don't know him, you know what I'm saying? We had a big argument about that, and that was, like, broke us off. That broke us off until a couple months later, I just asked her out.
So why do you say that Ari doesn't claim you?
She doesn't claim me because, let me show you. I'm about to show you.
Not single.
S-I-N-G-L-E.
Is this on her social media right now?
Yes, yes it is. Yes it is,
so
sir.
So currently, she
And mind you, I'm blocked off of there.
She's blocked you from social media?
Yes, sir. I'm blocked. Yes,
when did you all get back together?
17 days ago.
17 days ago?
Yeah.
And it still says single?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, listen, everyone, I want to hear what Ari thinks about all of this situation. So everyone, welcome Ari to the show. Have you cheated on us?
Yes.
Okay.
It was one time we first started dating, and I wasn't gay. And by the way, I'm bi. You can't tell me what I am or not.
So
and
you dated multiple
there.
females.
It don't
You
matter
like
if I date a man or a female or not. I am bi.
But
That's
you're
what
not. You can't
no,
be bisexual, bro. You don't like females.
How you gonna tell
but
me
you
what
don't
I
like
can't be?
females, bro.
That's the
I'm not telling
problem
you
right
what you
there.
can't
That's
be,
why
but you're not gonna sit up here and you're gonna lie,
you always
bro.
trying to talk
You don't like
over me and tell me what I
females, but you
can't
don't
be.
like females.
How you gonna tell me what I don't like?
Which
I'm
one?
bi, girl.
So I got a question for you. So why are we only unlocking her phone?
Nobody asked for my phone.
Oh. Why don't you want to see what's in her phone?
I do. She never lets me touch her phone.
Okay. Is there anything that you'd want to see on her phone?
I mean, it's not, so I know what to look forward to. She's portraying how she is to you guys, but I know how she is in real life. So
you already know she's cheating on you?
Yeah, I've been to that.
So you don't need to see because you know she's cheating.
Oh, yeah, I already know.
Okay.
Yeah. She doesn't...
So if I'm cheating on you, why are we together right now then?
Well, listen. Nas
Why do I
wanted
need
me
to
to
say that
unlock
from
your
looking at
phone today, Ari, but specifically only wanted me to look for March 6th, when you two got back together.
Okay.
So it's ironic that you didn't ask for like a whole lot of time. You really just wanted March 6th.
Right.
From then there on. Are you ready to see what we found? Mm-hmm. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
What do you think we found?
I don't know. You're scaring me now.
Am I scaring you? Is there anything that you think that we found in your phone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That from when I first asked you out, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
But you just said you was never texting nobody, correct?
I never said that. When did I sit up here and say that?
You said you've been telling me that for the
Well,
past couple of days
out.
you haven't been
It's
texting
time.
nobody. What's up, bro? Please pull it up.
It is time to unlock your
playing.
phone.
Now you really playing.
You have 12 Text Now accounts totaling 2,559 messages. And you paid someone in jail on March 16th.
I'm not about to play with this.
Who's it, March 16th?
On me, I'm not.
Who is this?
On me, it's her ex that I've been talking about. Now, go ahead, keep going. Go ahead, keep going. JPay, so you did make another JPay.
Yeah, you got that.
You did make another JPay, right? So you've been texting them.
Actually, it's the same one, boo.
You've been texting them.
No, I haven't texted anybody.
You've been texting them this month.
It's the same one.
You've been texting them this month. You've been texting them this month.
I haven't talked to him.
But it's right there. It's on JPay, bro.
Yeah, I see it.
So this is a problem for you. Why? Because
this is the same person when we first went out. Is the same person. She came to my face and said, "Yeah, I'm leaving you." She's in love with him. That's why I tell her, "You're not gay and you don't love me if you keep loving your ex, bro." It should be no reason. I don't text none of my exes or tell them I love them, bro. It should be no reason why you keep texting this man and he don't give a about you.
So you paid him you gave him some money on March 16th. This is your ex. Can you explain?
No, I just paid to write a message back.
Okay. And why did you write a message back?
To say she love him and she miss him and he can't get out.
What did you write?
I just basically was like, how you doing? Keep your head up.
I miss you.
I hope you're doing good.
So
Can't
just
wait
for
to
anyone
see
who
you.
doesn't understand what JPay is, JPay is an app that for those of us on the outside, we can use to communicate with them, send them monies, put monies on the books. So this is someone that you've been communicating with in jail, so that way you can have some type of interaction with them.
So when they get out, they can be together, run to each other's arms and stuff. That type.
Do you want to be with this person that you were communicating
I literally
with?
just did it to like see if he was good. Like, you good, you straight.
He not checking
feel
on
me?
you. And when he was out, he was never checking on you,
first
bro.
of all-
What are you talking about?
First of all.
He was never checking on you when he was out of jail.
Okay,
He
nice.
wasn't checking on you when he in jail. Let's
Okay.
keep it a stack.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the unlocking your phone. So when it came to text messages, we went through the phone to see if there was any suspicious text messages between you and anyone else, specifically any men, any women. And when it came to text messages, we found 63 text messages between you and another man starting on March 8th until yesterday.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
All right, here are
I'm
some-
done. I'm
here-
done. I'm done. I'm
You-
done. I can walk
you
out
gotta
that way.
hear the highlights. Here's the
Oh,
highlights.
no, I don't want to hear it.
You don't wanna hear the highlights?
I'm good. Go ahead. You tell the audience. You have a wonderful day.
Well,
You
I
too,
want to
love.
bring this back.
See you later.
I need you to see this. Here you go, because you need to see this if you
Okay.
really want to have all the information.
Okay. That's yesterday, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to sit back down real quick.
So this is what, if you can read it.
Yeah, I can read that.
This is
Yo,
what
I'm telling you, I'm not going to do this. I really can't. This junk say, I want to see you this week, and I'll be back Friday for a couple days. Okay, so see me. I'm going to be rich, though. What show you going to let me find out, babe? Well, since you watching the show, bro, God, I'm right here. This who she been with for the past couple of months. I want to know, who is this?
You said I'm like,
who is
oh
that?
my God, I
Who is that?
appreciate it.
She been in my bed the past couple of months. Been in my bed. That's why she's
I'm a
right
little
now.
mixed here,
I don't live with you. I don't live with you.
Let's
Don't
keep
lie.
it a stack. You've
Don't
been in my
lie.
bed the
Don't lie. Keep it a
past couple
stack.
months.
I
So
do
who
not
is
live
that?
with you.
Who is
Don't
that?
lie. Keep it a stack.
All jokes aside, this is a text message saying that as of you're telling them that you're coming here
Yeah.
with your partner and then you're going to go back.
But we in a relationship and you got when you get back.
First of all,
Damn, you was about to kiss me too.
damn. Can
But
I
this is-
talk? Can you go back there?
We have one last thing. We have a graphic because you rented a hotel. And this is for the 23rd.
Oh, that's for my sister.
So hold on. This is for your sister?
Yeah, she her birthday.
Because my Unlock the Phone investigator is telling me that you sent the screenshot of this hotel to the man we were just texting about.
Yeah, but that hotel room is for my sister.
So, but you got him and you a hotel though, right?
Actually, no, I did not, honey.
Oh
Hold on.
Lord.
Can I ask, can I ask you a question in all sincerity? And do you want to take a seat here? Because we already know this is done. We know this is done. We don't have to pretend. I'm not going to ask y'all if y'all want to be together. Y'all both know this is toxic.
Yes, and I thank y'all for helping us out. I now I don't gotta move to Houston with this.
We can applaud, but I'm actually not convinced that you won't continue in this relationship.
Oh no, I'm actually pretty good. I'm actually done. This is I already said. She kept telling me that she wasn't doing anything. Literally, out her mouth, kept saying she wasn't doing anything. And I guarantee you, this is probably true, though. I'm good.
But you have known. Have known that she has cheated.
Yeah.
And just like she has known, you have cheated.
Yeah.
So why would I be convinced that this is the time that's going to break the relationship?
Because I actually really did have faith in her that she wasn't, that whatever she was doing, that she wasn't doing. But then again, I also had curiosities because the phone was still on going on
You
D&D.
just got back together a couple weeks ago. I understand that. And I understand you're thinking a restart. You're crying. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm out. I can't do this.
It's kind of hard when you don't have nobody to talk to, especially your mom, because that's the person you grew up with. You know what I'm saying? That's the person I know everything about you. Yeah. I don't have nobody. I don't have no family, and I don't have my mom. I only have her.
I appreciate you being vulnerable for me right now. Because for me, it connects dots of why you believe this relationship is something that you continue to be in. You are a woman that didn't get the validation or love from your mother. You got rejected. You were talked to negatively. You're mimicking the relationship you have with your mother in this, and you found comfort in someone you could be vulnerable with, but then you then allow the relationship to grow into this toxic behavior.
Yeah.
Do you see that? You healing and thinking about, first of all, is your mom's words true? Because you've been grappling with that for your entire life. Am I hitting it on the nail? Talk to me then.
It's not the things she say, it's like the things that when she gets angry, she say. So when she say
That's the
it,
thing she says.
like, says a
Hold
lot.
on, you hear what I just said? I said, you've been grappling with the things your mom says is true, and then you said, no. And he said, it's only when she gets angry.
Yeah.
You're a child that's been defending your parent your entire life. When I asked you what's going on with your mom, you started defending her immediately.
Because I love her, you know, and I don't want to,
I get it.
treat
I
her
get
wrong.
it. But see, that same things of like, I love my mom even though the relationship is toxic is the same way you just said, I love this woman even though things are toxic. Do you see the pattern? So what I'm trying to help you to understand is that you have to reconcile with yourself if her words are true. And let me tell you, the things that your mother has said to you when she's angry, those words are not true. Those things she said about you are not true. Because those things that you're believing are true is what's making you believe that you deserve to be in a relationship like this. Can you just say to me right now the things my mother said to me aren't true?
The things my mother said to me are not true.
The things my mama said about me are not true.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. We're here for you.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
The things my mother said are not true.
They're not true. This is a first step for you. The more that you can practice saying that is the more that you can get to a place where you'll make a better decision in this relationship.
Right.
I'm taking this moment for you because I do love you.
I love you too.
Seriously. And I don't want to see either of y'all hurting.
Right.
If y'all need my support, I'll be here for y'all. Can you do that?
Yes.
Thank you. How are you doing? Good to meet you, beautiful. Take a seat. You smell great.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so Victoria, tell me, what is going on while you need my help?
So I'm having trouble loving myself. So I found love after so many people told me that I never would, or that I would always be seen as my assigned gender at birth. And I'm at a place now where I have found that love, and I want to learn to love myself.
Okay. What do you think it is that's making you not feel like you are the beautiful woman that we're all seeing in front of us?
Well, I grew up in a small town, and I was severely bullied.
Hold on, I noticed something first of all. When I said you're a beautiful woman that we all see, you switched by it. Why don't you don't take compliments in?
I try to when I can, but it's hard for me to see that myself.
Got it. So you were saying you got bullied.
I got bullied. I transitioned at age 14, so as you can imagine, that's not easy for people to digest, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
So I really carried a lot of that with me. And when I see myself in the mirror, although I have done several changes along the way, I still see the same face.
The person you're now in love with, his name is Christopher.
Correct.
And you met him in high school.
Correct.
Had you transitioned yet or no?
I had. I
Okay.
transitioned like freshman and sophomore year.
Okay then, tell me about how it was when you met him and what that was like.
Well, so although we had similar friend groups in high school, we never really crossed paths in that way. So
Okay.
he was sort of an athlete, he was a jock, I was myself and heavily bullied.
Was Christopher a part of that bullying?
While Christopher was not a part of the bullying, the other athletes of the school certainly were a part of the bullying. So when I first saw him years later, I was a little hesitant.
Of course, because the people he was around made you feel uncomfortable and insecure about the beautiful person you are.
Absolutely.
So how did you and Christopher reconnect?
So Christopher and I reconnected years later on a dating app. So I
Okay.
had just gotten my sex reassignment surgery, my bottom surgery, and I thought I want to experiment and see what's going on in the dating pool.
Yeah.
So, I was recovering for months and months. I had my hair up in curlers, just swiping, and so you know how it is. And so that's when I saw Christopher's photo.
Yeah.
And at first I didn't recognize him, but we matched, and here we are.
Is this the text that you sent?
Yep,
to
these are
Christopher?
actually our first ever messages on the dating app.
You've become quite a beautiful woman, Victoria. I'm proud of you for the pushing through this terrible hate and living your truth. Oh, he was so supportive and loving.
He was, yeah.
Wow. Good job. I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
so my question is, how are people's response to you and Christopher being together?
So generally, it's all very accepting and supportive. When he will sometimes see an old classmate in public, he'll let them know that he's with me and be like, do you remember Victoria, the trans girl, the girl that transitioned?
Oh.
And that's when they immediately go, oh, yeah, I do. And they kind of have an issue with it, but they're not in our lives.
Yeah, but still, the fact that he has to mention your past,
Right.
it has to affect you.
It does. And frankly, it puts a target on my back.
Why do you think Christopher introduces you as his trans girlfriend and not just his girlfriend?
I think Christopher does that because he's proud of me and he's proud of all the progress that I've made. And while I appreciate that, 2021 was the deadliest year on record for people of transgender experience.
Yes, it is,
And you really never know when you can have a target on your back.
Completely. When you talk to Christopher about that, what does he say?
He understands and he's, worked along with it, but he also doesn't get why I'm not more proud and vocal, especially because I am on my social medias.
Yeah. So how does that make you feel when you hear him saying those things?
Sometimes it makes me feel like he doesn't understand, or that I'm being perceived as a trans person and not a woman first.
Mm-hmm. So you have a dysphoria where you don't like things about your face.
Right.
What is it that you want to change on your face?
Well, I always say I'm not talking like fillers, Sherman-Williams, we're breaking down walls.
Okay.
Like, I want top to bottom, and a lot of times you see this with trans women on social media, from the forehead to the brow bone to the nose to the lips to the chin to the jaw. And that is something that I've always wanted, and something that Christopher and I don't exactly see eye to eye on.
What does he say? What's his
He
feedback?
listens,
Yeah.
as anyone can, but trying to describe dysphoria to somebody is like trying to describe color to a colorblind person. It's something that you can, sort of empathize with, but you'll never truly understand.
Got it, got it. Christopher, come on out, please. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. You look great. Give me a hug. Nice to meet you. You look sharp in this blue. Okay. You heard it? Mm-hmm. So I want to get right into it.
Yeah.
You introduced your fiance as your trans girlfriend, your trans fiance. Why do you do that?
So, in my eyes, I'm, like Victoria said, I'm so proud of her. And we talked about 2021 being the most deadly year on record for transgender women. And as somebody who's in a relationship, I want to show that it's totally normal and okay to be in a relationship with someone that's transgender. And when I meet family that have questions, it's an opportunity to break some of the stigma and to have conversations about it.
Of course. Yeah. So when you hear that she also has these feelings of like that she wants to change her face, how do you feel about that?
I love Victoria so much. It's heartbreaking to know that she feels like she needs an upgrade, that she needs to change something to be my wife and to make me feel like she's the wife that I deserve. She's so beautiful, and everybody that knows her knows.
Yeah.
Everyone can see it.
Victoria, do you trust him when he says that?
I trust him. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's all you can really do.
Yeah. Victoria, I want to go because when I said something, you hesitated, and I read body language. Do you trust him in general?
I do trust Christopher for the most part. The only issue is my dysphoria gets in the way.
Okay.
So for me, say for example, a cis woman, someone assigned female at birth, walks by, someone that's pretty, and if his eye line is even remotely near her, my day could just be ruined. And for me, it feels not necessarily that I'm not pretty enough, but that he deserves somebody who fills that role in the way that I've always been told that I won't.
Have you ever heard the statement, comparison is the thief of joy?
I have not.
I need you to use that mantra for yourself every single day. Because what's going on is that you're comparing yourself to women you see in this world. And it's natural. Whether you're a cisgender woman or a trans woman, I think we all look at somebody else and compare ourselves and say, oh, look what they got, look how they look. But every time you compare yourself to someone else, you steal your own joy. What's going on right now? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I must be crazy because I can't see past what I've always seen.
It's funny that you say you can't get past what you've always seen. It's really you can't get past what you've always heard.
Exactly.
And because we forget that sometimes looking in the mirror, you think you're looking at a reflection back at yourself. You're looking back, a reflection back at all the words that people have said to you your entire life. It's the messages that we get that inform how we feel about ourselves. It's not what we're seeing in that mirror. And you've been receiving messages for years that have told you you're not good enough, you're not worth it, from both in school and then also society. So that's why you want this reconstructive surgery, because you feel like it will validate you in some way.
Absolutely.
You have this opportunity to start to rewrite the narrative. I asked you why you don't see yourself feeling like you're beautiful enough, and you said because you don't think you're going to have the future that you want. What does that future look like for you? When you were younger, what was the future you wanted?
I really wanted to be a mother and a wife, frankly. And while that's still something that I can achieve, it's always in the back of my mind that maybe he could be with someone that he deserves more, or that could carry his children, or doesn't have these personal issues.
Is this causing issues for you with her when she says things like this?
It's not an issue. It's this desire, this massive desire of mine for her to be able to surrender into the relationship the way that I get to. But there's this barrier between that life for her and where she is now. And as she walks down the aisle, I want her to be able to know that the life we're walking into is something she's going to be able to enjoy fully.
My producers told me you have one big thing that you regret. What is it?
Back in school. So I would hear kids on my baseball team screaming her dead name at her while she tried to just run around the track and just live her life. And I would tell them to shut up, leave her alone. But you know, I didn't understand the full gravity of what was happening in the school. And knowing now what was going on right next to me, I wish I knew more. It's so, especially when we think about the impact that the environment has on how she sees herself, I wish I could go back and make a difference. It's a huge regret of mine that it was happening right down the hall from me.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things of having that regret of wanting to go back and help is understanding that now as an adult, you do have a chance to help. You do have a chance to be a better ally, and part of it is listening to what your woman is saying to you. And she has clearly stated that by identifying her as her your trans girlfriend, your trans fiance, it's causing her pain. And it's causing her, and there's a double layer here. And that layer is that you're a direct relation to the trauma that she experienced in high school. And I don't know if you realize that. She gets to see her trauma every single day, every time she looks at you. Do you realize that?
Never thought about it like that.
Because the fact of the matter is, the people that made fun of me in high school, I don't wake up to them every day. And even though you didn't directly bully her in high school, you were part of what she felt was attacking her and making her not feel beautiful. Am I near it?
You are. Yeah. I never put that together either, but you're right.
You're waking up next to that. And so for you, when she says to you, don't refer to me in that way, it's not because of your pride. It's not because of this. It's because she's saying, I still have to think about that time every time you do that. It just brings me right back. Brings me right back. So the man you are and how much you love her, you got to look at your wife right now and truly listen. That's what an ally is going to do. That's what a husband does. And I would just say to you as well, as much as I want you to see the beautiful woman that we all see, honey, because you are gorgeous, I also want you to know that I acknowledge the feeling you have about wanting to feminize your face. I've had many trans friends, and I understand that is what's going to make you feel more comfortable. So I can't judge your journey on that. And I think for you, the more you tell her that she's wrong for wanting to do it, the more she's going to feel as if, like, I need to do it. She's telling you right now that she's comparing herself to other women because she's scared you're going to leave. So just say to her, like, whatever you need to make yourself feel comfortable, I'm here. And through that, that's unconditional love. That unconditional love, because like you said, you can't understand what she's going through. I can't understand what you're fully going through. But what we can do is say, whatever you want to go through and wherever you are on your journey, I love you unconditionally on that journey. That will start to support her. And I think, for me, anytime I don't feel cute and someone says, well, okay, I love you however it is, I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I am a little cuter today. But one day, I pray that you lose those words of all those negative bullies in your life, and the words that you hear are mine, that you're beautiful and you're special and you're gorgeous. His words, that you're beautiful, you're special, and you're gorgeous. Audience, please tell her. She is beautiful. Everyone with me. Everyone with me. Hold on. Everyone with me right now. Please tell her how beautiful. Say, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous. And you didn't deserve that bullying. Here, seriously. Hear our words. Let that replace the words that you're hearing in your head as you're on this journey, because we do love you.
Thank you.
We do love you. Jenna, please tell me about your relationship with Keith.
Well, it's pretty complicated. We were together for a year and a half before she decided to open our relationship to a third person.
Specific words, you said she decided.
Yes, she did.
So it wasn't your decision?
It wasn't. My love for her made me willing to try anything. I had noticed secret conversations between them.
Yeah.
And it made me want to go through her phone, and I found out that she.
Oh, you pulled one of my stunts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't help myself.
Okay.
So they were actually discussing having a baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it got deep quick.
Yeah.
Okay, let me back it up. How were things in the beginning?
We were great. I actually left an abusive relationship before her, so she helped me find a lot of self-love and growth.
When did you two move in together?
Immediately. We were living together like within 3 weeks to a month.
I'm not going to say nothing about stereotypes of my sisters in my community, but I've heard this story before.
Yeah,
Moving
it
very
is
quickly.
fast.
I've heard this before. So you're also raising your kids together, right?
Yes.
Okay, how many do you have and how old are they?
Isabella is my oldest, and then my son.
It's a beautiful family.
And Kaylani is 4.
And Key said you'd always be number one. What did that mean?
That's the thing, is I always wanted reassurance, but I never felt secure that I just wanted security that I would be her wife one day.
Yeah.
And that was an argument that we had many times since bringing Kayla in.
Got it. How do you feel about Kayla being the other girlfriend?
I like her and I enjoy her presence. It was something really hard for me to get used to, but they put way too much focus on building their connection instead of trying to get me comfortable with everything and building mine and Kayla's connection, actually.
What are the things that they do behind your back?
She used to leave me with the kids, and they would get to go on date nights, and
Why didn't they include you and invite you?
I guess because of the kids, but there was never an option to just find a babysitter. It was kind of just, oh, I'm leaving, I'm doing this.
Okay, I gotta be real with you because I've never been in a polyamorous relationship, but I do know what it's like for the person you love to start to have an emotional connection with someone else. Did that break your heart?
It absolutely did.
Tell me about that moment, because because you know, it's easy to look at like, oh, this is a throuple, so like this is crazy, but like at the end of the day, your emotions are caught up. You have a family together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say it was around my birthday last year, February, that I found out they were telling each other they loved each other. And me and Kayla never got to that level, so I was really hurt that they were progressing without me.
Did you break up with her for a little bit?
I didn't break up with her until after the baby thing.
Uh-huh. So when you found out that they were secretly talking about having a baby,
Yeah, that was the last straw for me.
did you ever confront them?
I confronted Key. She just said like one day, like after us, or that was when I really realized how serious and how they were falling in love with each other.
So Key also, which my producer just told me, proposed to Kayla in December
She did.
while you were broken up. How did you find out and how did you feel?
So I went and looked online and saw Kayla saying that she was officially a fiance. And nobody really knows, but that really did break me. I was depressed for a couple days at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you and Key and Kayla back together right now?
Not officially. I'm trying to work through emotions, and I feel like us all coming up front with our feelings is necessary completely to move forward.
What do you need from them to have this relationship work?
We all need an agreement of what we all want together.
Okay. Let's hear their side of the story. So everyone, please welcome Key and Kayla to the show. Hey, how are y'all doing? Please take a seat for me. So Key, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah.
Why did you want another girlfriend?
She was lacking in some areas, but not enough to where like I wanted to leave her.
What are the areas that you felt like she was lacking?
Probably like sexually, like I was her first girlfriend, you know, so like I felt like, you know, she didn't really, you know, want to give me, you know, any pleasure in that way. So like it was kind of hard. It was like one-sided. So.
Have you ever heard this? Did you know this?
I did.
Key, was another girlfriend just an excuse to cheat?
I'm not a cheater. I don't like to cheat, you know. So I like to be
I like how
honest.
Kayla, when I asked that question, started smiling.
Right. I like to be honest. So, you know, I was like, you know, maybe we should open a relationship because maybe we could find a girl that is like not like you know. So, you know, I have the.
Would you ask her how she felt about an open relationship before you started it?
I feel like I did ask her and she wasn't really okay with it, unless
Jenna
it was
did?
like a girl that
Did
you know,
they?
she was
Did they
okay
ask?
with.
No, she brought it up like on a public forum that she wanted 2 girlfriends. That's how I found out.
There's a lot of women in the world, you know, and she, you know, she likes women too. So I was like, why not, you know, try it.
Kayla, so you're the third in this.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. You're kind of, I saw how y'all walked out. You're kind of the first in this now. So what was it like for you when they asked you to be in this relationship?
Well, they both approached me, and it seemed like it was supposed to be a relationship. Like, I got claimed right away, and I didn't know that Jenna thought it was just going to be a fling that was temporary.
So Key had told you that this was a relationship, but you were under the impression that we were just having a fling.
They both told me that it was a relationship. They found me together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing things with her like we would in a relationship, and Jenna was like trying to, you know, like put up walls like let's not fall in love, but like I'm a lover, so like I'm like, how do we like do everything in a relationship with this girl and then not fall in love with her?
I feel like you pressured me to like love her so fast because you guys were in love.
So Kayla, how do you feel about your relationship now?
Well, I definitely have been hurt about it because I did go in wanting to love both of them, and then everything like got strewn out through the summer, and then then it was just me and Key, but then Key was like seeing Jen behind my back and lying, and both of them lying, not talking to me about it. But now I'm still open to loving her because that's how I came into it.
I want to hear what my audience has to say about this. Anybody have a comment on this? Okay. Okay, what are your thoughts on the subject?
Hi, so I'm polyamorous myself, actually. I think there's a lot of love between all of you, but there's also a lot of confusion. And I think that you all started out opening up your relationship and maybe went a little bit too fast. You know, I think that you could have been communicated with better, right?
Jenna?
Yeah, Jenna.
Yeah.
And you as well coming into this relationship thought that, you know, it would be open, that both of you would be ready.
So it
right?
sounds like if you're saying Jenna should have been communicated with more, she should have known that they were ready. It sounds like you're saying Key's at fault here.
I don't want to place blame on everyone because polyamorous relationships are very complicated, but I think communication between the 3 of you, like knowing that in a polyamorous throuple, there's a relationship between person A and person B and person C and person A, and then there's a relationship between the 3 of you.
Yes.
And all of those need to be treated with respect and with communication and trust.
I appreciate your perspective. Thank you so much. I'm going to be honest with you, polyamorous relationships are new for me. Key, I'll ask you, do you think that each of those have been handled properly?
Yes, I felt like that was the main thing I was trying to do.
But it sounds like from Jenna's point of view, the relationship you didn't focus on was you 2.
Yes, that right there.
That's what it is.
Nail on the head.
I don't agree.
I just felt like me and you took a pause while we focused on Kayla.
Okay, what's your point of view?
I got a question for Key. So you said earlier that maybe we need to bring someone else in that's not Jenna, correct? So if you're a person that loves to love, how do you think that's making Jenna feel? Number 1, that was there first.
I mean, I felt like me being honest was better than stepping out.
But do you feel like that's a little bit of betrayal? Taking Kayla out for a second, if my partner communicates they want something, then great, yes, but then it's like, without proper time to really figure it out, to communicate, to understand, I would feel like, dang, like, wow, I don't know, that's just me. No,
I agree, and I feel like I could definitely feel the love from Jenna to Key because clearly you're doing something in order to make Key happy. You done entered a whole can of worms that you really wasn't beat for. Am I correct or not? Correct,
I was
right?
not prepared, yeah.
Yeah, you was unprepared, rightfully so.
Thank you. All right, let's talk about this. So Jenna, I want to know, do you feel like you can stay in this relationship?
I love them both more than I've ever loved anyone else in my life. If we could come to an agreement all together, that's different. But I don't like being told one thing and then just imagining that she's being told something else.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I tell them anything different. I want them to both feel like they're wanted in life, like the baby thing. She wants a child, so like I don't feel like she should settle and not be able to have a kid because.
But that conversation should have been all three of us and
Do you
not
agree
just
with
those two.
Right, I do believe that should have been, you know, but she was just so stuck up to like, no, I don't want her to have that with you. I don't want her to, you know, have all that. You know,
But you
so I
never
didn't
gave
think-
me the security that I was your number one. You were telling me that, but you were
always told you
showing,
that.
your actions were showing different.
But you were pulling yourself away from me.
I
to
was
where
watching you guys fall in love.
Exactly.
And it was
you
making
were watching
me
and
want
pull
to
away.
pull
and you,
myself away.
exactly, and you weren't putting
Why
yourself in a
do
situation.
I have to fight for your
You
love?
didn't have to fight for it. You the one that took yourself from the situation.
I don't like the way you react to me and yell at me and call me names. That's not a normal, basic
Well,
thing.
you don't listen to me. You are like us.
But I've seen you do the same thing to her.
Yeah, she does.
She does the same
So
thing.
does she not listen to you? She does, right?
Yo,
She does exactly that.
I'm not going to chase after them because they're the one who set this in motion and then are deciding to leave. So what I'm going to do to you ladies is just say this. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Very sweet. I actually, it really is sweet. Because at the end of the day, I do believe that there was love. I think you were uncomfortable and it just wasn't patient enough. You didn't get the proper communication you needed. Communication just was off there. You got to start to figure out how to move on, which you already are. They're engaged. They're in love.
Yeah.
And so you have to start making your decisions based on the facts, not based on what could be.
Right.
Because I think a lot of times in a relationship, we make these decisions on like, well, I think they could be. I think this could be. But the fact of the matter is, they don't live with you anymore. They are engaged and they are happy. And part of them still wants to control something that they can't control anymore. And you just said, you saw it as well. And also I would say to you, you're young, you're beautiful. And I'm not telling you to leave your fiance by any means, but I am also going to say, watch behavior. Pattern behavior doesn't switch until someone decides that they want to actually take the steps to do the work to grow and to heal themselves.
Right.
And a response like walking off isn't someone who's taking the steps to grow.
No accountability.
No accountability there, yeah. So you, as a young person, younger than two of them, watch yourself. Just watch it. Make sure you don't find yourself in a situation where now, because now you're talking about marriage, now you're talking about kids, you're talking about a lot of stuff, and this is your first relationship, okay? Again, I'm not telling you to leave, but I'm telling you to watch it and understand that if things get to a place where you see it mimicking what you saw here, and I just heard you say, yeah, that's what they do with me too. That's what they do with me. So you're already picking it up.
Yeah.
Start to say to yourself,
Right.
maybe I
was
need
just
to
gonna
go.
say, like, I did tell Jenna, like, when we first, like, started talking again, like, I do feel, like, bad that, like, I wasn't there for her during things, because she did tell me a lot of stuff that, like, she was going through with Key.
Yeah.
And then I went through it, and I didn't have, like, I wished I had her next to me. So, like, I do understand why she wanted me there.
Got it. So you're both experiencing the same things. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that there is at least a support system that you all have for each other. And again, I'm not going to bash Key's character. That's never my intention here. I just hope that Key can grow and be a better partner for you, can be a better person to help you to have the relationship end in a positive way so that the kids can feel healthy. And I hope that they start to do the work on themselves. So I wish you all the best of luck.
I haven't had a bond with my son since he was a little boy. He makes me feel like I'm a bad mom. He thinks I judge him because he's GAY, but I do not. There's been heated arguments, and in those heated arguments, I have told him that it was a sin. That's how I was taught, that's how I was raised, that it was a sin to be that way. I don't really want to just continue to stay on that topic, that GAY topic. I don't like touching that. I'm not trying to hurt him anymore. So, but that one thing he cannot hold against me. I have never judged him I was raised that was wrong.
I want her to look at me more than just my sexuality. I'm not gay, I'm Jimmy.
Yeah. Have you ever been close with your mom?
When I was younger, my mom and I were very close.
How do you communicate with her?
Letters.
How long have you been writing letters?
I've been writing letters since the moment that I could spell a word.
So you were one of 12 children. Did you feel like you were treated differently?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In what ways?
More ways than I could even begin to explain. Just the way that my siblings are looked at. My siblings get eye contact. My siblings get a hug. My siblings get compassion. But me, I have never.
Do you think the relationship with your mom is salvageable?
That's really something she has to ask herself. But I believe she loves me, but I don't think she loves every part of me.
What do you want to happen today?
I just want some respect. You don't have to respect that I'm gay. I don't care. You have made me feel like I've done something wrong. I was sexually assaulted when I was 5. That affects a child major. And so whether I want to be this way or not, that is how I am. I feel like that affected me, but even if that didn't happen, I was born this way. This is not a choice that I made. I don't want to be ridiculed.
Got it. So I know that you were in college,
right,
and that you had to stop because your grandmother passed,
right,
correct? And so you moved out of your mom's house? I'm sorry. What made you emotional right there? Here you go.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Here, what's going on, babe? Talk to me. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, what happened? Karen,
I'm so sorry.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. What happened? What just happened?
My grandma is the only person that's ever made me feel like I'm normal.
Got it.
When she died, I don't have anybody. Nobody can look at me.
Here, come back out with me. I understand.
Sorry.
No, you do not need to apologize. Let me tell you what I'm going to teach you right now. First lesson is you don't apologize for your feelings, because you are, just like every other human being, you're entitled to your feelings and you're entitled to express them and be who you are.
Yes, sir.
So you don't ever have to apologize for that. Okay, so you moved out of your mom's house, right?
I did for a little while.
Okay, got it. Are you back in your mom's house?
Yes.
And so how's it been being back in your mom's house?
I thought that our relationship was okay after I graduated. But really, I just feel like me going to college, I was out of the way. She didn't have to deal with me anymore. That embarrassment of your co-captain cheerleader son that got prom king and did all these great things in high school. You don't want to look at him anymore because it's not the son that you imagined.
Got it. Is your father in your life?
I have 2 daddies. My stepdad is great. That man will lay his entire everything. The belt that's on my waist is his. He has held me up. My biological dad, my biological father, he's been pretty back and forth, in and out of my life.
Got it. Well, everyone, I want to meet Jimmy's mother, Amanda, so let's welcome her to the stage to get her side of the story.
A lot of stuff is not true. It's absolutely not the truth.
Yeah, denial is a river in Egypt.
It is not true. It is not true. I supported you in cheering all.
Mama, it's not cheer. It is not cheer. It is me. I don't care about the activities I do.
I love him, but I don't have to like what he does.
You don't, but you have to respect it. You have to respect it. I'm not asking you.
I don't disrespect it either. I take up for him. That is not true.
You're my mom. Do you want a pat on the back for that? It's the way
do you want clout for sitting here making me out to be this villain that I'm not?
I'm not trying to
Yes,
make you
you
look
are.
like
Yes,
a
you
villain.
are.
You have done great things. But the bad things outweigh them. The way you
bad?
make me feel.
What bad?
Just the way you don't look me in my eyes, the way you can't hug me.
Because you tell me don't touch you.
What do you
I
mean?
don't like to be touched.
Why do you think I don't
You
want to?
show me
Mom,
all the
I was
time.
sexually assaulted.
How was I supposed to know that? If nobody
Ask
tell
questions. Pay attention to your kids. I'm not saying anything bad. I just want you to get better so my siblings don't have to ever go through anything like I did.
Did you know that he was sexually assaulted?
No, I did not.
When was the first time?
At 5 years old, no, I did not.
When did you first hear this?
Mama, I was in kindergarten.
saying-
I told you when I was 16.
Did you remember him telling you?
I thought that was another incident, but yes, I remember.
Okay, okay. You remember. And when that happened, do you feel like your mother was there for you in that moment?
No. I feel like she did what she knew and just swept it under the rug.
I didn't even know how to,
I
didn't know how to
understand
be
that,
there.
but neither did I.
I had never been through that. I didn't know,
I get that. But when are you gonna stop saying I, me, and start caring about me and my feelings?
Why do you feel that I don't? What? I don't understand. What? I've never judged you. I've never said anything about you being your sexuality.
Mama,
I've never.
You constantly telling me G-A-Y. That is not a thing. G-A-Y. Gay.
I don't want.
It's gay.
I don't want the little ones saying it, walking around saying it.
You are making gay seem like it is a bad thing. This is not something I chose to be, but just accept me. Just accept me.
What do you mean? I have always accepted him.
No, you have not. You are in denial.
What makes you think that I haven't?
Mama, you can't even
What have
look
I-
me
I'm
in my
saying, what have
eyes.
I
You have
done?
not hugged me in years.
Jimmy, will you
I
do me a
have
favor?
not-
I want to give you a second to take a break in the green room, and I want to talk to your mom alone, okay? I'm going to have you go back this way. Come sit here for me. What do you think the issues are between you two?
Honestly, I do not know. Our relationship started going down when he was like after kind of like junior high or whatever. That's when things started changing. He started changing. We've always wrote letters to each other to express how we feel because that's how my mom and I did. He makes me feel bad now. He's like, how do you think it made me feel that I couldn't come and talk to you, that I had to write letters? And I was like, I thought that was like something that was
healthy,
good for both of us, even though
do you feel like you treat him differently?
No, honestly, basically I feel like I've lost him because he feels that I don't accept him, and that's not true.
Do you have any shame in your heart that you have a gay child?
No, I'm not ashamed of him. I'm not ashamed of him at all. I never have been. I was raised in a home to where it was wrong, and that's it. And I don't speak on it because I don't know, I don't understand it. So I don't speak on it. Like, I don't have to sit and, why do we have to have a topic about it?
Yeah.
Like, because it's something that I don't understand, so I don't speak on it.
So one of the things that you said is that I don't understand it. Would you be open to talking to him more to understand who he is and understand more about his sexuality?
First, I have to understand him because I don't understand him.
Are you willing to learn about his experience as a gay man?
What do I gain from that?
You gain more understanding of your child?
I don't understand what you mean by learn.
So part of who your son is he's a gay man, which means like as he gets older, he's gonna have a relationship, he's gonna have, just like your other children probably have dates that they come over to the house, they'll wanna meet you. So there's a part of that I'm asking you, would you be willing to learn more about that?
I guess, I mean,
Yeah, I'm just
it
asking.
really doesn't, I don't understand what you're learning.
See, the same way that you
What
spent...
do you mean when you saying, am I willing to what? You saying accept him?
I didn't
Because
say
I
anything-
accept him.
I didn't say anything about acceptance
So
or
what do you
denial.
mean in learn?
Would you be open to learning about your son as a gay man and what that entails?
Yes.
I think part of the reason I'm going to speak somewhat for him, just from similar experiences, I grew up in a Christian household. And I also grew up in a household where my father literally did not talk to me at all, even though we're in the household, because he was not willing to accept me as a gay man. I experienced that. And it hurt me every single day because I felt like, well, then maybe these people don't like me. He would say things like, I respect you, I want to get to know you, but then also at the same rate, he was showing me that he didn't want to learn about me. And we did not talk for 18 to 20 years. And in that time, I became a very successful man, a very happy man. And in the back of my mind, hold on a second, in the back of my mind, I always wanted my father there because I was like, I want him to be enjoying this. I want him to be experiencing this with me. But what I realized is that my father, as much as I learned about him and understood his life
and the things he was. And I had the empathy to say, okay, I get how you were raised. You were raised in a house where you were told one thing. You went to church every day. This is how you were taught. I understand where you're coming from. He never took a chance to understand me. And then one day, 4 years ago, he said, I finally want to learn. Okay. And he decided at that point to start making the choice to learn more about this community that he had been taught was so wrong. He started to learn. And this is a man that is still very devoted to his religion. And now we have the best relationship because he's took the opportunity to learn. So when I'm asking you, do you want to take a time to learn? I'm not asking you to change your beliefs.
Yes,
I'm asking you to do you want to learn more about your son? You do?
I don't want to feel distant from him.
Yeah.
Because I do love him.
Yeah. I know there's love in your heart, but I also understand and have empathy for the fact that you were raised a certain way and that you were taught a certain thing. I actually, because I've been through it and I've grown past it, and also because I'm also a proud Christian man, I also can I can say to you, I see it. I understand what you've been through. But I can tell you, if you really want to be able to get that relationship with him, you being able to say that I'm willing to learn will be a big step.
I am, and I think that's a big issue, that I don't speak about it, or I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he felt like I don't accept him, because I won't talk about it or whatever.
Yeah.
I accept him. That's just not something that I want to sit and talk about.
Yeah. And through education, you'll learn more, and then maybe you might become more comfortable. But that's going to be the first step for you. If I bring Jimmy back out, would you be able to say to him that you're willing to learn?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to bring Jimmy back out. Your mother and I talked, and I heard your mom. She heard me, which I was very thankful for. And she has something that she would like to share with you.
I'm willing to learn who you are. And I do accept you. I love you. And I'm sorry for making you feel.
I love you too. There's a lot of pain that has been here. Well, Jimmy, I can tell you this. I know your mother does love you at the core. And I also understand, as I share with your mom, what it feels like from your perspective, being a young black gay man who just wants to be seen and know that their parents love them wholeheartedly. And what I tried to show your mother and what she accepted, which is why I give her her praise, which is why I'm giving you your flowers right here, is that through me talking to her calmly, she understood that she has to learn more. And she was willing to learn more. And that's a big step. And maybe for some other people, it seems like a small step, but for somebody who's grown in a household where you've been told, this is wrong, to say, I want to at least learn, education is the first step. And so I thank you for that.
Thank you.
And she wants to get closer. Do you want to get closer to your mom?
I do.
Tell her.
I want to be able to have a relationship. I just want to open up, but I can't. I don't know how to, but I'll work on it.
I will too.
Y'all took a very big step. You took a very big step. Listen, I know if y'all need anything, I want to be a resource for both of y'all. So if y'all ever need anything, I want y'all to know you can talk to me. I'm going to hear you, okay?
Okay.
And I wish y'all the best of luck, all right?